Hey y'all, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Trisha. I generally post mainly grocery hauls, but I have done a few of these little like chatty type videos. So I figured I would just chat with you guys today, maybe kind of like a little bit of a get to know me, just a little bit about myself. And I would love to get to know you guys also. So while we chat, I am just gonna do a little bit of work. So I guess I can start there. So my main job, my full-time 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 40-hour a week. I work for a insurance company in the accounting department. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But I also own my own small business. I have just like a small design company. Nothing crazy, nothing big. I mainly do cups, koozies, t-shirts, flower pots, signs. Hopefully going to keep expanding and growing that, doing more things. Right now I'm pretty much working all in vinyl off of my Cricut machine, and using a couple different platforms to create my own designs to do on different things like the cups and koozies and all of that. My biggest goal for this year and just into the future is I would love to get some more jobs doing this kind of work, so that I can start like a savings account for my business. And I'd like to save up and upgrade my computer. I'd love to get a printer that I can do sublimation with, and just kind of like the materials and whatever to do all of that, just because I can have a lot more fun with my t-shirts with sublimation. I actually kind of prefer the vinyl for koozies. I think it just like it's sturdier, like it, I don't know, it just looks really good on a koozie. It just stands out so much on a koozie. I've seen koozies made like using sublimation sheets and like being done that way, but I'll probably keep doing my koozies how I do them now. But I would love to get a printer that I can put sublimation ink into and create my own designs and print them out onto the sublimation paper sheets and be able to heat press them onto my own custom little t-shirts. Another benefit of that is to create a lot of these designs. You're using a decent amount of vinyl, which isn't the cheapest thing. It's not super expensive, but it's definitely not inexpensive. So I could potentially do t-shirts at quite a bit lower cost by doing sublimation t-shirts. And because I just kind of want this to be like a fun little side business, something to be creative and enjoy, that in turn means that I can sell t-shirts for cheaper, and make them available to more people. It doesn't take quite as long. It's cheaper, like I said, so I just have more options, kind of like a wider variety of what I can create. And generally I can do it for a more affordable price. So that is just a little bit about my side business and some goals I have for it. What got me on that subject is what I'm doing right now is creating some t-shirts. for a fundraiser event that is going on this weekend. So I have some of these to finish. I've been working on them every single day. Pretty much all I've done is work my day job and work my side job for the last like 2 weeks, maybe a little more than that. So I'm going to keep working on this while we chat because I don't have a choice. I've got to get this done, but it can make you go a little stir crazy just like sitting here working at a desk all day long, whether that be in my accounting job or when I'm finished with that job and I am working on my small business stuff. So I do the typical things, you know, I watch movies, TV, Facebook, YouTube. I take Facebook breaks for sure. I take TikTok breaks for sure. Instagram breaks. You got to do a little bit of all of that to kind of keep yourself sane. But I typically watch like YouTube videos or listen to music or watch a show or something. But I just feel like I need to talk. Like there's nobody here. If there was, I wouldn't be doing this. My husband's fishing. I'm a weirdo. I still can't like own up that I'm doing this in front of anyone yet. I love YouTube. I am not ashamed at all. I just don't want people that I know in my personal life to like watch me yet, because I haven't like I haven't put it all together. Like I feel weird about that. I don't know why. So yeah, I'm sitting here by myself. Well, my dog is on the floor down here. He's just taken himself a little nap like for the 15th time today. I just needed to talk. Even if I'm not like talking to anyone, I might be talking to no one. There might not be a single soul who watches this video, and that's fine with me, honestly. I love watching YouTube videos. I like being creative, which is why I have a small design business. For me, putting together something I truly enjoy, like watching YouTube videos, with the creativity side of it, of creating them, it just gives me a little bit of joy. I don't know. I think it's fun. It's just a hobby. It's something I'm doing for fun, and you know, if it goes anywhere, cool. If people talk to me on here and I can build a community, I think that is so neat. Like, I think it's so cool that I can be on one side of the country and talk to somebody in my comments that's on a different side of the country, living a completely different life than I live. But still, like, we can enjoy certain things together or enjoy the same things even though our lives may be so totally different. I just think that's something really cool about social media. I will admit, I think there are a lot of downsides to social media, but the biggest upside for me is kind of the community side of it, and the fact that we are all so different, but we can find so much interest and joy in the same things and appreciate the same things. And it kind of like brings you together with these people that you would never know otherwise. So back to a little bit more of getting to know me. I am 31 years old. I live in Ohio. I am married. My husband's name is Mark. We have been together for 12 years. We've been married for 7. He plays competitive men's softball, so we spend a lot of weekends at the softball fields for tournaments. He also plays like league nights and stuff with friends for fun. I actually play with him and some of our friends on Thursday nights in a little co-ed league just to have a good time. I am not a good softball player. I am mediocre at best. I can kind of halfway manage through a game, but he's pretty good. His team plays a lot in like the tri-state area, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky area, but they also do occasionally travel. Every year in September, we go to Panama City Beach, Florida. There is a world tournament that is held there. What that means is people from all over the country can come and play softball there in a huge tournament. So we do that every year. We actually went to Orlando last year, which is also a world tournament. It's just like a different sanction. Orlando is cool, but we're going back to Panama again this year. Some teams will pick it based on the sanction, what they prefer to play. We don't necessarily mind either of the available sanctions. We're cool with playing whatever. I say we, like I'm on the team. My husband's team doesn't necessarily care which sanction they play, but for a lot of us, it's our vacation for the year. When you're going all the way down to Florida, most of us, go ahead and just make softball and vacation out of it. So typically we'll go down for like 5 days or so. Of those 5 days, they could potentially play for 3 of them. We've had years where we went down for 6 or 7 days, made it a little bit more of a vacation. We've had years where we went down for literally only the days we had to be there, and just went for softball and came back when we were done. But this year we are going for 5. Definitely looking forward to that. He has not played, partially like the panty that happened affected some things, but so for the last few years he has not, but in the past he actually used to play in the black softball circuit. It is as it sounds, African American softball circuit. You are allowed to have 4 others. Anyone who doesn't meet the qualification for African American can be an other, is basically what they call it. So he used to play on one of the circuit teams, and when he played with them, we traveled a lot. So like every other month, sometimes every month throughout spring, summer, we were going out of town for softball. So we've been to Chicago, Detroit, a few different places in Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. I think that's it. And then the local ones, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky area ones. But that was really neat because we did get to see a lot more places, and some of them, when you're traveling that much, a lot of times you're literally just going there to play softball. But for a few of them, we would go and stay for an extra, day or two, so that we had a day at least to go and see some stuff. Like if we're there, we might as well. Like I said, some of them not so much. We generally go to Nashville every winter. It's like February-ish, January, February. They have a Winter Worlds tournament. So his team actually won Winter Worlds this year. They get these really cool, like huge rings. They look like Super Bowl rings or like World Series rings. They're giant. And their team wins some money, which helps pay for extra tournaments throughout the year and stuff like that. Helps supplement the sponsors' money for the team If he is not playing softball, as I mentioned, he's fishing right now. When he's not playing softball, he usually is going to be fishing, kayaking. He likes to go to the like off-road parks with his buddies. We have a quad and a dirt bike, four-wheeler, quad. I don't know what you call it where you're from. We call it a quad. But like an off-road utility vehicle. I don't know. We have one of those and a dirt bike, and he'll go ride around and play in the woods. I occasionally go and do those things. Like I have a kayak too. I'll go fishing sometimes with him. I've been to go, you know, quadding, whatever, all that stuff. I love all of that. I grew up on a farm. It's like second nature to me to go and play in the woods. But a lot of times if he is going and riding his quad with his buddies or going fishing or something like that, if I don't want to go, I go to the barn. So I have 2 horses. My one horse, her name is Roxy. For anybody that knows anything about horses, she is an Appaloosa quarter horse cross. She had a baby last March, Judy, also known as Big Booty Judy. That is my other horse, her baby. Big Booty Judy was a surprise. We used to own a stallion, and my sweet Roxanne got into his pasture, and she was not in there long. We thought everything was good. She didn't seem to be putting on a bunch of weight or anything, so I thought I was in the clear. Turns out I was wrong, and a few weeks before she gave birth, her stomach started to drop a little, and I was like, uh-oh, there's a baby in there. That was accurate. Roxy's a big girl. Like, she's thick. She's a sturdy built lady. So she really didn't show that she was pregnant until the very, very end. And at the very end, when it's no longer just, you know, a big old belly, which she kind of, not that it was big, but like she was always kind of thick. It changes shape. That's the dead giveaway. Instead of just being, you know, her chunky self, her belly started hanging lower, and it got a weird like football shape to it. And that typically means there's something in there. So there was, and sweet Judy was born March 11th of 2021. She is absolutely beautiful. She is such a sweetheart. She's a bit of a stinker. She's a baby. That happens. Obviously not so much baby anymore. She's about a year and a half old now. But unfortunately, when Judy was only a few months old, she was running across the field with her mother and tried to cut around Roxy to run past her, and actually ran into one of the fences and flipped over it. When she did that, she suffered a concussion, and she broke her shoulder. So Judy was taken to Lexington, big horse area, to have surgery to fix her shoulder. And somehow, by the grace of God, because holy cow, that surgery is real expensive, her shoulder had started to heal. And from what the surgeon said, it was healing in the best possible spot that it could have healed. So she did not end up needing surgery, which was an absolute blessing. She's doing great now. You would never know that she broke her shoulder a year ago. that's my exciting life. But now that Judy is doing good and all fine on her own, I have started to get back into competing. So since I was 3, I have barrel raced, rodeoed. Google it. This little curly random piece that's like looped is driving me nuts. I'm not savvy enough with this to do much editing. I can do minor edits, but I don't know how to put little like pictures in and add stuff to the inside of the video to like show you like, oh, this is what barrel racing is. I'm not that good, guys. I'm working on it. I'm gonna learn. My goal is to eventually figure out how to be that good, so that I can give you better quality content. For now, I barrel race. If you'd like to know what it is, type barrel racing into Google. It'll show you. It's relatively popular, actually, surprisingly, in this area, which is kind of funny because, rodeo, you think of like out west, and it's actually a pretty big deal around here. There's a lot of people in it. A lot of the horse shows and rodeos are actually very large. But if you think about it, or you're, in the area, it does kind of make sense, considering Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, there's a lot of farmland, like the Midwest in general, there's a lot of farmland. There's 4-H is huge here. A lot of people who live kind of more out in the country area have animals, have, farmland they grow on, things like that. Like it's not that unusual. My horses, unfortunately, are not at my house yet. I grew up on a farm. Our horses were always in my backyard. When I got older and moved out and all of that, my parents sold the farm and moved into just like a regular neighborhood, and my mom and I leased some land for a while that we kept our horses on. In the last like 6 months or so, maybe a little longer than that, we recently moved to a boarding barn. They had an entire small barn on the property open up, so we keep our horses in that like smaller barn together. They turn out with the rest of the horses, but they just have so many more amenities than you can really realistically get by just like leasing out some property. We have an indoor riding arena, we have an outdoor riding arena, there's a lot of pasture. Our barn has a wash rack area, we have tack lockers for storage, we have loft space for hay storage. So it offers a lot. However, Mark and I, in case you haven't caught on by all of our activities, are outdoorsy people. We will definitely at some point be buying land. Ideally, realistically, horse-wise, and so that he has space to do the things he wants to do, we would need 20 acres or so, so that he can kind of have his area for his toys, and I can have my area for a barn and pastures and a space to ride and everything, and then the house to have its own kind of separate space on the property as well. So we hope to have at least the land part of it within the next few years, and then work on building all of the house, barn, garage, all that type of stuff once we're able to get some land. We would have loved to do it sooner. But he actually, Mark, just graduated last month, the beginning of last month. He was in school to get his journeyman's electrician's license. So now he is a licensed journeyman electrician. Prior to that, he was an electrician, but being licensed brings on a lot more opportunity and better pay and all kinds of things. I'm just at my spell over. So he has been in school for the last 4 years. The idea of trying to buy land and build things on it and money and everything, while he is in school and is still being paid just as a regular electrician, it all didn't make sense. So we decided to wait at least until he had graduated, was the original plan. Unfortunately, he graduated in 2022, and the housing market, the land market, just like property, is so expensive right now, So land and property prices are way, way up. Interest rates have gone up again as well, which doesn't make any sense. We're dealing with extreme fuel cost. We're dealing with inflation all the way around as far as food and fertilizers and building materials and anything and everything you might need to prepare property. It is just not the ideal time. So I strongly believe that the market happens in waves. I don't know how long this wave will last, but I truly don't think that it will last forever. I don't think that this is the new normal. I don't know that we'll go back to where we once were. I think, things will stay more expensive and our pay will increase, but I think we're kind of in the high end of the upswing, and it will drop some, and things will kind of get back to more reasonable, hopefully within the next few years. So at this point in time, we are just doing what we can to improve ourselves financially, to improve our credit and get it as good as we can, and just to set ourselves up for the future we want, for the land we want, for all of the goals we have. So that's just kind of a lot of random advice and things and thoughts and a little bit about me and my husband that nobody asked for, but here we are. So yeah, that is kind of all of us in a nutshell, our hobbies and what we both do for a living, and just some dreams and goals and random facts. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about. I feel like you see so many YouTubers. I watch a lot that I feel like they've been around for a while. They have a decent following. Quite a few of them have like a niche or, something. And I am very much just your everyday person. Like, I work a normal 9-to-5 job. I definitely have my things that are a little out of the norm, like having the horses and rodeoing and stuff. It's a little different than maybe your everyday thing, but we're just like normal people living in a relatively like country-ish area. We're very close to like a major city, but you know, more rural area, just kind of living life and trying to achieve our goals and make our dreams come true. And it's maybe a little different than I think what most people watch on YouTube. And I think for me, even if I'm able to grow this channel, even if I take off and I find a following and I make friends on here and I build a community on here of people who just like to see what I buy at the grocery store, what food I make for my husband and I. If I get ballsy enough, some vlogging maybe, people who enjoy my random chats like this. Like, I would love to just take you guys along the journey a couple years from now of buying land and building a house and putting a barn on it and fencing in a bunch of property and all of the fun things that we hope to do and that I truly believe that we will do, because we're hard workers and we have good goals, and when we have those big goals and those dreams, I feel like we both really try to work towards them. You know, I want to bring you guys along with that, and I want to stay true and authentic, and just, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not moving to some big city and becoming an, you know, influencer and going to fancy events and, you know, like, that's not me, and that's not at all my goal. I think it's fascinating to watch. I watch quite a few different people who live that life, who do those things, who want those things. But I think that's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of social media, is that I probably live a very different life from most of the people who end up stumbling upon my videos. All 5 of you. Kidding. I don't even have that many subscribers, but I've got more people than that have watched videos. But you know, you've stumbled upon me, however that may be, and you probably live very differently than I do. But I think that's the beauty of it. You know, you get to see somebody else living a completely different way of life, and you get to kind of like secondhand experience somebody else's reality. So yeah, I'm gonna try to like grow a pair and suck it up and take you guys along with me on some adventures. I think for the next few weeks, you will probably mainly only see grocery hauls, as long as my husband isn't home when I get home with the groceries, because I still can't film in front of him. Working on that. But next month, in August, end of August, my parents will be out of town one weekend, and there is a horse show that weekend, and I had really wanted to go to it, and my mom was like, oh, I can't go, like, your dad and I are going wherever they're going. I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, well, you know, we have a truck that we keep at the barn to haul our horse trailer with. That is its only job. It's not anybody's daily driver. It is just there to pull the horse trailer. So she was like, well, the truck's there, the trailer's there, your horse you can run is there, her horses she runs are there. She's like, take your horse, take my horses if you want, like, whatever you want to do, go to the show. So I decided I'm going to. I have never gone to a horse show by myself. My mom's always competed, And so we have always gone together. I've been bad this year about not going to any shows. So she has gotten a lot of experience going to shows by herself. I've had a busy year. Everything with the baby horse caused things to be difficult. I couldn't take her mom because I wasn't allowed to put her under stress. So I couldn't run my horse because she couldn't be separated from her baby. Could I have gone and ran my mom's horses? Sure. But like, it's just one of those things, like, you want to go and you want to compete and enjoy that time with your horse. That's part of the fun and the enjoyment, like the magic of it is like the bond you and your horse have created and going out there and working on improving every time together. So I have not gone to hardly any shows this year. But I've got the all clear to take the mama horse, Roxy, by herself, whenever, wherever. And Judy's been fine with that and been doing really well. So I'm going to a show by myself for the first time in my 31 years. I will be all on my own. Little nervous. Not like I can haul a horse trailer like it's nobody's business. I am not worried about that at all. That part will be easy. Loading my horses, all of that, whatever. I'm just like nervous of the idea of being there completely by myself. Like I am always used to having like that somebody with me. Like even when times when my mom has gotten hurt and she hasn't been able to compete, like she's still there. It's still that like support system, that person cheering you on, you know, videotaping your runs for you and whatever. So it's gonna be a little weird. But I'm also kind of excited. Like it makes me feel like such a true adult to like go and hook up the horse trailer and load up the horses and go somewhere by myself. So the beauty of that is that nobody will be there to watch me talk to myself and video myself. I mean, obviously there will be people at the horse show, but like I can still probably like get some clips and stuff of things going on at the show, to like include them in. But like the whole process of getting ready and going to the show, like realistically, I could tape that because there won't be anybody there watching me do it. So right now that's my plan. We'll see how that actually goes. Like if I'm a complete mess rushing around, like scrambling to get everything done, because you know normally there's multiple of us getting everything loaded and prepared and whatnot. I won't have that this time, so like can I get it all done and not be late? I don't know. But I think I'm going to try. I'm gonna try to video that experience, you know, vlog a little bit of getting ready for a show and traveling to the show by myself and all of that. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Give me a like, comment, whatever it may be. If that's something you're interested in seeing, or if you enjoy random chatty ladies on the internet, or grocery hauls, then I'm your girl. Hey. But no, I would love if you'd stick around, if you'd engage. I want to get to know all of you, all 5 of you. If you haven't noticed yet, because like my personality obviously doesn't come out a lot in like grocery hauls, like I don't have that much to joke about, but I'm like very sarcastic, kind of like smartass kind of person. Throw in a little like self-deprecating humor here and there, like it's kind of my jam. So I would love if there were more than 5 of you, but if there's only 5 of you, totally cool. I'm fine with that. Yeah, please stick around. Please subscribe and tell me about yourself. You know, where are you from? What do you like to do? Like, what are your hobbies? If you're comfortable, like, what do you do for a living? Or, you know, are you married? Do you have kids? That kind of thing. But I think I've rambled enough. I have 3.5 of these left to do for the day before I can go do housework and dinner and wash this dirty ass hair and maybe try to relax for at least a little bit tonight, because I've not done like any of that since this all started. I've been working, scrambling to get things done and sleeping about it. So I'm gonna try to aim for a little bit of like self-care tonight. And by self-care, I mean I'm gonna take a shower and then I'm gonna get in bed and I'm gonna like read a book or watch trash TV or like play a game on my phone or something, and hopefully go to bed around like 9:30, because that's my preferred bedtime. And I have not gone to bed anywhere near that time in the last couple of weeks. I'm lucky to be asleep by 11, and I don't function well like that. That's not how I roll. So, all right, well, you know, I just keep talking and putting it off ending this video because I'm so close to the end of this, and like if I get this one done while I'm still talking to you guys and I'm like slightly distracted, then like I only have 3 left by the time I'm done. But you guys are probably sick of listening to me ramble. So, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're doing well. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.